Now at 11, fear, anger, and frustration. The owner of a local dispensary calls out for help following an armed robbery.
It's not, 13 years ago what I signed up for.
Plus, a massive memorial in Phoenix as tens of thousands, including President Trump and members of his administration, memorialize Charlie Kirk.
So much want for this country to just get better.
And back in Portland, not game time, but Dame time.
I think it's going to open the door to bring back a lot of special moments to Rip City.
Crowds flock to Pioneer Courthouse Square as Damian Lillard returns as a trailblazer. Thanks so much for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. We're going to start off tonight with a shooting incident earlier today in Forest Grove that left one person with life-threatening injuries. It happened just before 12:15 this afternoon near Pacific Avenue and Tualatin Valley Highway. We're still waiting on details, but the victim had to be life-flighted to the hospital. We don't know their current condition or have any information about a suspect. Police do say there is no threat to the public. A local cannabis dispensary is asking for the public's help after crooks robbed the manager at gunpoint. It's the second time the store has been robbed in the last year, and as our Catherine Cook shows us, they're facing other hardships as well.
It's demoralizing and scary.
It's been 1 week since someone robbed Sally Bishop's cannabis dispensary, Green Goddess Remedies, on Southwest Taylors Ferry Road.
They just ransacked the place. They took so much stuff, it was unbelievable.
Security video shows two men with guns and faces covered. The manager on shift holds up her hands as she follows orders, leading crooks to the safe. Sally says it's the second time this has happened here in less than a year.
We're all on pins and needles, and it makes it worse because we can't see out our windows right now because it's boarded up.
Back in July, an SUV crashed into the building, causing $200,000 in damage. Sally's still waiting for insurance to come through. Just another burden to bear.
At this point, I'm like, what's next?
Sally opened Green Goddess 13 years ago. The same week, recreational marijuana became legal in Oregon. She's proud of the small woman-owned business she's built, but says doing business in a city where cannabis break-ins have now become rampant is not what she signed up for.
I've lost employees over it who were traumatized.
The Portland Police Bureau's Major Crimes Unit is investigating the case. Sally is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest.
This isn't child's play. I mean, eventually, and it has happened, people are going to be killed.
In Southwest Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Well, turning now to weather, it may have been a rainy start to the last day of summer, but at least we ended the day with some sunshine out there. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is here to let us know what the first week of fall is going to look like. Joe?
Hey there, John. Well, the first day of summer started off with record amounts of rain going back in June, and the last morning of summer was wet. So we kind of bookended the season with some wet conditions. And here's a look at some of the numbers that we saw earlier today. Again, a lot of this fell after midnight from essentially 2 in the morning to about 6, 7 o'clock this morning. We saw about 1/4 of an inch at the Portland International Airport. Outside our studios here in the Goose Hollow neighborhood of Southwest Portland, we saw almost 1/4 of an inch, just shy of that. We saw basically just over 2/10 of an inch of rain. But yeah, Hoquiam, you saw 3/4 of an inch of rain along the Washington coast. Meanwhile, over in Astoria, Cannon Beach, you saw rainfall amounts of over 1/2 of an inch earlier today. So that upper level low that we saw late last night and this morning is pushed off to the east. Now it's going to be moving through a lot of sunshine as we get ready to start the first day of fall. So daytime highs tomorrow will be on average 76 degrees, a crisp morning tomorrow, and then by the afternoon, a lot of sunshine. In fact, we'll be looking at clear skies from beginning to end. Into the first week of fall, John, is looking sunny and very pleasant. Temperatures in the mid to the upper 70s tomorrow. It gets even nicer and warmer for Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. We'll see you soon. We have new info tonight on yesterday's crash in Marion County that left 4 people dead. The sheriff's office says they've taken one of the drivers into custody on manslaughter and DUII charges. They say 23-year-old Saul Hernandez Roblero was driving a Volkswagen that crossed into the opposing lane of Cordon Road Northeast and hit a Buick. 4 people in the Volkswagen were killed. Hernandez Roblero and 3 other people were taken to the hospital. He's now due in court tomorrow afternoon. And new tonight, multiple crews were needed to get a fire at a business under control. Just after 2 this afternoon, the Aurora Fire District was called to Executive RV Storage, where they found dark smoke coming from 4 units. Nearby agencies were also called in to help put the fire out. No one was hurt and the cause of the fire is being investigated. Developing tonight, a Montana man is sitting in the Multnomah County Jail after a multi-state crime spree that caused more than $150,000 in damages. It started locally on September the 11th. Salem police say the suspect, 32-year-old Brian Del Werner, was caught on camera damaging nearly 3 dozen vehicles at the Mercedes and Acura of Salem on Commercial Street Southeast. 3 days later, he allegedly damaged another 35 cars at BMW of Salem on Van Ness Avenue Northeast. He was arrested on the 15th in Portland on DUII and other charges. Police learned he had a warrant out for his arrest over a vandalism spree in Montana that involved gunfire. He's waiting to be extradited back to Montana, but will also face charges in Marion County.
Charlie's murder was not just an attack on one man or one movement. It was an attack on our entire nation.
I forgive him because it was what Christ did and is what Charlie would do. The answer to hate is not hate.
An emotionally charged memorial today as tens of thousands gathered to remember slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk. President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and cabinet members all speaking today. Kirk leaves behind 2 young children, a 1-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl. His widow, Erica Kirk, has vowed to continue her husband's legacy. Cole Sullivan brings us a recap of today's events.
One of the country's most powerful politicians coming here to State Farm Stadium not just to mourn Charlie Kirk, but also to credit the conservative activist for their own success. Vice President J.D. Vance says he would not be where he is today without Kirk. And other speakers say the tens of thousands of people who came to this memorial is further credit to the movement that Kirk built. The line began before the day did. Hundreds, then thousands, then tens of thousands, waiting for Charlie Kirk's memorial service.
Charlie Kirk, and he's one of the biggest movements. Look at what he's done.
Joni Peters drove from Las Vegas, but couldn't find a spot to park. The line snaked through lot after lot.
Oh, and like I told my daughter, this is unfortunately her generation of the JFK.
Kirk's assassination last week brought them to State Farm Stadium.
We're all here to honor someone that meant a lot to us.
Emergency crews worried about the sun almost as much as security, and not everyone made it inside.
There was a lot of calls for medics, and we're like, maybe we should head back and watch it on TV.
The tens of thousands who did stick it out heard an event equal parts church service, political rally, and memorial.
That for every hateful voice celebrating his murder, there are 1,000 people mourning it and fighting for his legacy every single day.
Kirk's conservative organization, Turning Point USA, says it will press on without its founder. President Trump says Kirk's death made him and his movement immortal.
He's a martyr now for American freedom.
But the most powerful moment came from Kirk's widow, Erica. After emotionally describing their love story, she spoke of the man now accused of killing her husband.
That young man. I forgive him.
One thing we did not see, protesters, just 3 or 4 on a corner, dwarfed by the 95,000 or so who came here to mourn Charlie Kirk. In Glendale, Arizona, I'm Cole Sullivan.
3, 2, 1.
Back here locally, the rain didn't scare away the Northwest Kidney Kids from Sellwood Riverfront Park this morning. Family, children, and supportive community members showed up during the height of the rain showers for this year's Dash for the Northwest Kidney Kids. The nonprofit says proceeds will go towards helping kids and teens with kidney disease through increased awareness, financial assistance, and best of all, Kids Camp.
Camp is a sanctuary. It's their safe place. It is their time to be able to just be kids. They don't need to focus on their health issues, and just getting to connect with people is a highlight of their summers.
Kidney disease refers to a condition where the kidneys they're damaged and cannot effectively filter out blood. This year's fundraiser featured everything from a 1-mile family run to a 10-kilometer race. Proceeds support kids in both Oregon and Southwest Washington. And downtown Portland was ablaze earlier today. The Trailblazers hosted a fan rally at Pioneer Courthouse Square for a reunion between the city and Dame Lillard. Alongside a street fair plus various booths and activities, Lillard addressed the crowd and answered some fan questions. That included how it felt playing in Moda Center, but having to go to the visiting team locker room when he was a member of the Milwaukee Bucks.
It was one of the more weird moments of my career. When I walked in the building, I actually didn't even know where it was, believe it or not. You know, I'm looking around at this building that I've always played in. You know, I played most of my games there, and now, like, I'm not a part of this no more, you know, and I think it affected me.
And while Dame's now back as a Trailblazer, he's still recovering from an Achilles injury and is not expected to play this coming season.